Okay, so I want to give you a perspective about something that has really landed with me recently and really understanding and entertaining what is the concept and the focus, what is the reason and existence for a frame. When you have a frame, what is the purpose of it? What does it actually do? And it's designed to tell you what to look at. Frame shows you this is what you pay attention to, and everything outside there doesn't matter for the moment. You pay attention to what's inside the frame. So the frame sets the focus. And what I want to put into this frame for this conversation is for you to understand that you can generate more revenue with the same number of buyers and that should be your focus. And it doesn't mean you don't pay attention to anything else, but it means when you start putting thought process, strategy, and intent behind this, you have exponential growth ability in ways that you don't without it. So this is our why. This is who we live for, what we do. This is my beautiful wife, my our amazing family, and our awesome grandkids, and this is the life that we live for. And what really matters is that the world is a great place for them, that we leave a legacy that supports our grandkids and their grandkids. And it doesn't mean that we're creating wealth for them, although that is absolutely 100% of our focus and intention. But we're creating a world that will support them, that will encourage them, that will engage them, that will allow them to live and thrive beyond us. And you are essential to making that happen because the raise your hand if you think if you're waiting for Wall Street or Washington to solve our problems. All they do is make them worse. But you're the people who are going to make this work. The world is going to change, grow, shift, and be impacted by business owners, by entrepreneurs, by people who are building profitable businesses, people who have the resources to do the things that you know God called you to do on your planet, on this planet, and live into your full version of yourself, 10xing you, 10xing your business, 10xing your impact and your revenue. And we stand for building businesses that can be sold for profit or kept for pleasure. Whether you want to sell a business or you just want to run an effective business, the easiest and most effective and most profitable business and most fun business to run is one that can be sold because everything's working effectively. And I'm going to make a quick case for you here today that when that's happening for you, everything is right in the world. You are building a business that serves you, serves your mission, serves the people that you're supposed to serve, and you're no longer tolerating and accepting less than what you're capable of. So why should you be listening to me? Well, Cindy and I in our business here, we've approaching $500 million worth of sales results, over 300,000 sales conversations in all sizes, shapes, and colors over the last decade plus. And that doesn't mean anything in terms of us as humans, except the fact that we've got access to data and things that the average person just doesn't. And we've seen a lot as we've worked with many of these amazing clients like Mike Aguilera, CEO Warrior from Zig Ziglar Foundation, Kevin Harrington, Lisa Sasevich, Annie, Bill Barron, and many, many more. And in the time that we have seen this, we've got to be behind the scenes in massively growing businesses as well as smaller seedling businesses. And there's some things that we have seen that have drastically changed the game. And we've seen some massive trends that are actually quite alarming. One of them, what we're going to talk about today, is what I call the mad dash from clicks to cash. This is what you are most likely doing and every other business that we come across. We are literally spending 90% of your time on the front end, meaning where am I going to find my next lead and how fast can I convert them into a buyer? We're spending 90% of our time. And I'll be honest, that's a generous assumption because most people are spending 99% of their time chasing, hounding after the next click, the next opt-in, the next registration. Where am I going to find my next buyer? Where's my next speaking gig? Where's my next networking opportunity? What am I doing to find new people, new people, new people, new people, new people? But 90% of your total addressable market is on the back end. 90% of your total addressable revenue is what happens after those people find you. And 90% of your total addressable profit comes from you selling to people after they've been into your world and you serving people after they've already said, hey, I want more. Just look at this. The math does not add up. That math don't work. Write it down for yourself. That math don't add up. Think about it. If 90% of your effort is being spent on the thing that only gets you 10% of your results, how are you going to grow? What's going to change? What's going to be different? What's going to make sense for you? Think about that picture that I shared of our grandkids, our grandson Owen, light of my life. I love that kid. And he's 5 years old right now. Now, how much sense would it make if Cindy and I and our entire family put 90% of our time, effort, energy, and focus in making sure that his 5-year-old year is the best year of his life, instead of focusing on what kind of man is he going to become? What kind of character is he going to have? What kind of life is he going to live? What kind of husband will he become? What kind of provider can he be? What kind of man of God? Who's he going to grow into? We're spending 90% of our time focusing on who he's going to become. Because guess what? He's only going to be 5 right now. And then that's it. That's what you're doing in your business. You're spending all of your time trying to maximize and wring out every ounce of possible output that you can from the person who you just met, the person who doesn't know you well enough. And it's heavier. It's the hardest lift. That is the hardest sale you'll ever make, is the person who just met you. It's less ROI because most of your expense is in trying to find that first person, the person who first met you. It's more frustration. It's less profit. It's higher, the most expensive client acquisition cost you'll ever have because there's literally nothing else behind it. You get lower conversions, fewer buyers, fewer upsells, fewer referrals, and fewer affiliates. So you are literally the one that has to provide all of the focus and the energy on that lever to ensure that there is some kind of profit and return from all the maddening energy that you're putting into the front end. But there's a better way. See, if you were to shift your focus to 90% to match the actual output that you're going to gain, 90% of your focus on the back end. That does not mean you don't generate leads. Yes, generate leads every day, as a responsible business owner should. But whatever it is you're doing, we want to make sure that you're getting the greatest bang for the buck with all the effort you're putting into getting in front of new people every day. If you want new clicks, you want new leads, you got new ads, you want to go from clicks to cash as fast as possible, fantastic. But we don't want to squeeze everything out of that opportunity and make that be the best thing you've got. We want to make sure that you are building intentionally something that happens on the back end. How are you ensuring that you continue to show up relevant and valuable in their world over time because you intended it and planned for it and built a strategy to ensure that it happens? When you do, you have lower client acquisition costs because people stick around and buy longer. You have higher conversion rates because the longer people know you, the easier it is for them to buy from you. You have greater retention because the more they could see the valuable things you do and deliver and bring for them, the more they want to stick around. You have repeat buyers because you demonstrate continually that you know how to solve their problems, and therefore they assume you're going to be able to solve the next ones. You have upsells, more cross sells, more referrals, more affiliates, more cash in the bank. All of this comes into this incredible ball, weighted, leveraged ball called customer lifetime value. And when you put that on the lever, it does all the lifting for you. And then you soar. You get to soar. Now you have a lighter load. Your work isn't so crazy and hard. You have more ROI. You have more joy, more impact, more profitable sales. And then say it with me, more buyers from the same number of leads and more sales from the same number of buyers. And then no matter what you're doing, whether you have a trickle and a drip coming out of the faucet with 1 lead a month, 1 lead a day, 1 lead a week, or 1,000 leads a day because you have a machine that's pumping them out, no matter what that number is, you're going to get a greater return for that effort because you're going to bring them someplace more intentional and more specific, more strategically. And you're going to have a more powerful opportunity to serve these people well over time. And so what I want you to do right now, this is all I'm asking you to do. I don't want you to think about, I don't want you to put massive calculations to your head. I don't want you to break your brain. I want you to make one commitment for me right now. First, if you already know what your what your client acquisition cost is, meaning how much do you spend to acquire a client? To the penny. If you don't know what it actually is, then it's not a number. It's just a guess. And same thing with your lifetime value. What is it what is that customer worth to you when they come into your business? What is the average customer lifetime value for every person that comes into your world? And if you don't know it, hey, no sweat. From this point forward, now you have no excuse. And now shame on you if you don't have it going forward. But what I want you to do right now is make one commitment. And that commitment is to make sure you understand and calculate what is your client acquisition cost and compare that to what your customer lifetime value is. Make that commitment. Okay, you got that commitment? Are you in? Have you committed to make that so that you understand that without this, you're not really a business? Without this, you're just somebody who's selling stuff and delivering stuff. You're not really a business because you don't even know what your potential is, your earning potential or your profit value. Okay. And now that you've made that commitment, your mission, should you choose to accept it, and I'm assuming you have, would you like help with making this, with taking action on this mission that you have now signed up for to determine your lifetime value and your client acquisition costs? If you would like assistance in making that happen, we have a way that we can share that with you. And that is a more buyers from the same number of leads training. We are going to do a CLV masterclass coming up February 28th. And it's a profit-driven training with proven strategies to convert your buyers and the people that are already in your world. We are going to take some of the key concepts that we know. We're going to help you start this journey of having calculated and accurate client acquisition costs and what is the relationship to with those clients that you acquire and what is the value that you will attain from them by delivering to them over a predetermined lifetime value journey. We're going to drop the link. If you want that, reach out. We're going to drop the link into you here. So if you're watching this video, it should be somewhere inside here that the link is there. If you want it, then just type in CLV and in the chat, and we will respond to you with the link. We'll make sure that you have access to register for this. It's a $97 training, right? This is something that you need to show up prepared to have a game changer. We're going to put a new focus inside of your frame that you will start seeing a profitable, focused back end journey so that all the hustle and grind you're putting into the front end is being supported and exponentially increased on the back end. And not because it happened, because you planned for it and put a strategy in place to make it happen. Cool. So I'd love to see you there. Want to change the game for you so that you don't have to experience the constant feast or famine of what's going to happen from clicks to cash on a daily basis. Because my concern is if that is where 90% of your focus is, that means by default, you are literally not improving the back end, which means nothing is ever going to change. Next year, next month, and next decade, you will still be supremely focused on squeezing every ounce and every drop of return on your hustle on the front end instead of building a journey that entices people to want to continue to be with you and spend with you over their lifetime. And we're delivering what we consider a qualified booked appointment, a QBA. You're busy selling your product to a prospect. A QBA is somebody who's designed to buy all the stuff you sell because you've created a journey for them. Life gets easier, life gets more valuable, life gets more profitable, and you get to win on your terms. So join us for the workshop. Any questions you have, please drop them in the chat. We're happy to help you and support you in any way, right? Thanks for believing in us and taking action towards your goals and getting you to be self-sustaining so we can help you build a business that can be sold for a profit or just retained for pleasure because it's running the way you want it to and you get to enjoy it and do the things you want in your life.